Do you remember what the first one that went away? The first of those major symptoms that went away?
Probably the brain fog.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think the anxiety was close to being?
No, I think the anxiety was probably the last thing. I think I was kind of hanging on to the anxiety.
Like a friend.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying, it kind of becomes a part of who you are. And not until recently was I filling out like my anxiety list and whatever. And I'm like, I probably should start putting that I really didn't have anything today, because I really didn't. I'm just so used to like putting that there was a low grade level of anxiety. But if I really stopped to think about it, I'm like, no, I really didn't. I wasn't anxious today. So that's like it took a moment for me to actually stop making that a part of my life.
I think that is so well said, because we forget that our symptoms become part of us. And it can be everything from your weight to, I can't do this because it becomes an excuse. We get attention for it. And I would tell you, just in the time I've worked with really, really sick people, sometimes that's the hardest piece, is what will life be like when you don't have that anymore? And of course, the natural answer is, oh, it'll be amazing. But you got to think this through, because people might not give you as much attention. You were the mental health poster child. Like, you're not going to be that anymore. Like, you're going to be a different version of you, which might...
I'm the healthy version of the mental health poster child.
There we go. Yes, you can be the happy version.
Yeah, the happy version. I mean, look, I still struggle. I have my moments of that, but it's transitory, where in the past it wasn't transitory. It was just like a constant state.
Right.
So, but I think that's just human. We forget that like we have these, we're a vast landscape of emotion.
Yeah.
That we bounce in and out of like all day long. And so we can't always be happy.
No.
For me, letting go of those pieces, sometimes I feel like it's been in the past, the only way I can get rest is if I can show people like I'm exhausted I'm depressed, or there's got to be like something. There was always something attached to rest for me. The only way in my early childhood, working, like the only way to get rest was to be sick. And so I definitely had that correlation of the two things for a long time. So I know I would come off the road and make myself sick. Like I literally, it was unconscious, but I was good at it.
Yeah.
And I had to, when I became aware of that, like start to unwind that cycle. And that's why I think anxiety was last to go, is because it's just been a part of me for so long.
Okay, so this is a really interesting concept, because I think when we want to rest before a crisis has hit our body, we don't get a lot of sympathy or empathy from others. I recently had this exact thing happen to me, where I was like done with traveling. I was done promoting Fast Like a Girl. Like, I just wanted to rest. And I had to cancel a couple of really important events that got very little sympathy from the person who I canceled on. And I kept saying to my team, I was like, if I had a cancer diagnosis, if I had COVID, if I had something, and I called them up and I was like, hey, this is going on with me, they would be like, oh my God, I totally understand. But instead, what I was saying to the people that I had to cancel on was, I've hit burnout. I can't get on another plane. I need to just rest. And I got nothing.
Well, because no one else knows how to rest. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't know how. And so we're all, and when someone asks for that, it's funny. I'm going to Australia soon, and we're talking to this IV company, and they're like, oh, the first part when you're there in February, all our nurses are gone for vacation. And I'm like, if this was America, nobody would shut down. And that's a thing. Like, we're so used to continue, go, that nobody else knows how to rest either. And people can't see burnout. Like, I've had, EBV for off and on, like that's lived in my system for a long time, and I'm exhausted sometimes. Like, people can't see how tired you are, really. Like, and so I don't know. And everybody else is tired. That's the thing. Everybody's tired. And so
and they're edgy.
I'm exhausted. Well, so am I. Like, nobody has any empathy for that,
So true. Do you think you've been burnt out before?
Oh, many a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you know when you're burnt out?
Oh, I just have no desire to do anything.
Yeah. It's the
Like when I really burn out, I have no desire to get up and wash my face, brush my teeth. Like that's when I'm like really done.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the challenge with burnout, because I've also been thinking about this lately. I feel like I hit it like in December. I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm withdrawing.
Yes, that's the thing. That's what happened.
Yeah. And so I was telling my therapist this. I was like, I just think I need to just withdraw. Like, I don't really care about putting out a good product. I don't care about anything. Is that burnout? And she said, well, you have to, we started to have this conversation about what burnout meant. And I said, here's the challenge. And I don't know if this is a woman thing. I don't know if this is just an American thing, but every time I've hit burnout, I always find this place inside of me to dig deeper and push through it. I don't think I've ever truly honored a burnout moment. Have you?
Yeah, I think I think there's been parts of me that have always had to push through something, but I really started to feel burnout at the end of this past year, but I knew that was going to happen, and I had planned on nothing, like for a good 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. So I think I've learned how much I can handle before that gets there.